Welcome to Review Station 5. In this station, we will be reviewing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. The first thing that we're going to have to do on each one of these problems is get our slope from the original equation. We must keep in mind that if my lines are parallel, then their slopes are going to be exactly the same. If my lines are perpendicular, then I'm going to have to take my original slope, flip it, and change its sign. Let's look at our once we have done that, we're going to have to take our slope and our point and plug it into point-slope form. It wants my final equation in slope-intercept form, therefore we have to distribute and solve for y. Let's look at our first example. Write the slope-intercept form of an equation for the line that passes through the point -7, 4, and is parallel to the graph of 9x minus 5. The first thing I'm going to determine is my slope. This is the only thing that I need this equation for is its slope. So I do not need anything here but my 9. Since my line is parallel, then that's going to tell me my new slope has to be exactly the same, and it is also 9. I'm going to use that and my point, -7, 4, is my x1, y1. I'm going to start out in point-slope form. So y minus y1, which is 4, equals 9, parenthesis, x minus x1, which was -7. My minus negative is going to become plus a positive. We need to now turn this into slope-intercept form, so we're going to distribute. 9 times x is going to give me 9x, and 9 times 7 is 63. My y minus 4 will just drop down. The last thing I have to do is solve for y, so therefore we're going to add 4 to both sides. I'm going to end up with y equals 9x plus 67. This equation would be parallel to my original equation and would pass through the point -7, 4. Our second example is done in much the same manner. It has given me my point, 8, -2. However, this time I want my new line to be perpendicular to the graph of y equals -2x plus 3. Be careful on this because when I want perpendicular, I am going to look at my original slope. But however, my new slope is not the same. I have to take my original slope, which would be a -2 over 1. I have to flip it, which would be 1 over 2, and change the sign. So the new slope that I will plug into my equation is 1/2. I'm going to use my point, x1, y1, and plug into point-slope form. I will have y minus -2 equals 1/2, parentheses, x minus 8. My minus negative here will become plus, and I need to distribute to get rid of my parentheses. Y plus 2 is equal to 1/2 x, and then 1/2 times -8 would be minus 4. The last step, I need to get rid of my 2, so we will subtract 2 from each side. When I do so, I will end up with y equals 1/2 x minus 6. So your final answer here, y equals 1/2 x minus 6. Thank you for visiting Review Station number 5.